Howdy. Today I'll be showing you how to light up your collection using the IKEA Billy bookshelf, Oversidan light strips, and Tradfri remote. I will be starting with the Oversidan lighting assembly. Building the Billy bookshelf is a fairly straightforward process, being made by IKEA. This is the specific version I'm using for my shelves, but make sure to get the lights that will best fit your shelves. I'll go ahead and set the light bar off to the side and get ready to work with its accessories. The Oversidan is designed to be used in IKEA's wardrobes, and it comes with several mounting options as well as instructions for those mounting options. However, I will be showing you what I think is the best way to mount the lights to the shelves, so I don't think you'll really need the instructions. The brackets needed for these shelves are the ones with screw holes in them. Make sure you have the matching A and B sides. Next up, grab a shelf off the Billy. I place the front of the shelf away from me with the bottom facing up. You can orient it however you want so long as you know where you will be placing the lights. The front of the shelf is the same color as the rest of it, and the underside has the two holes on each side. Using the handy folding cardboard piece that comes with the lights, measure 1 inch in from the side of the shelf and place the guide with the edge on the 1-inch mark. The point to mark with a pencil should be about 1 1/4 inches in, but it's more important to get the edge of the guide on that 1-inch line. This will place an even amount of space on either side of the light bar. Once the point for the screw has been marked, I use the nail to create a pilot hole for the screw. Depending on the length of the nail, make sure to not accidentally nail through the shelf. You can also use a drill for this if you are comfortable. I will be utilizing a drill later, and again, just be careful not to drill through the shelf. Then, utilizing the screw head that came with the lights, screw in the A side and slide the light bar onto the bracket, ensuring there is enough room to slide the bar on. It is possible to over-tighten the screw, which will prevent the bar from sliding on. Preparing the B side is similar to the A side, except that the measurements are reversed. Place the guide 1 inch from the side, with the pin point about 1 1/4 inches in from the side. Before making your pilot hole, however, I recommend sliding the light bar into the A side bracket and attaching the B side. Make sure the point you marked lines up with the hole. If it doesn't, mark the hole again to ensure your light will be as straight as possible. This will also prevent having to make 2 holes in the shelf, even if the incorrect hole will be covered by the lights. Once the brackets are in place, plug the cable into the light bar. It can be difficult to fully seat since there isn't much room for your fingers, but once it's in, press the cable into the small channel on the light bar. Slide the bar onto the A side bracket and rotate it until it clips into the B side bracket. I also test fit the light bar to ensure that the brackets are in the correct position. Finally, if you want to control the lights using the controller, make sure the light is switched to the on position instead of auto. This switch is located on the B side of the light strip. Now it's time to replace the shelf and mark where the cable hole will go. I'm going to run the cable through the back of the bookshelf, so I'm marking with my pencil where the hole will go. The hole will have to be about 3/8 of an inch, so be sure not to mark too close to the shelf, or else the shelf may block too much of the hole to run the cable through the back. Once the hole has been marked, remove the shelf for easier access. I used the same nail from earlier to create a pilot hole for the cable. I hope my high school tech ed teacher doesn't see this. I'm an engineer, not a woodworker, so I wouldn't consider this expert advice. I'm just a guy trying to make do with the tools I've got. At any rate, it's almost time to drill the holes out. Finish preparing your shelves if you haven't already and mark all of the holes. Make sure there is at least 1 hole for every shelf. I drilled out the holes just to realize I never created a hole for the top shelf. Alright, it's time to drill. I've taken the time to flip the shelf on its side for easier access to the cable holes. I press the nail into the pilot hole from the opposite side to make sure I'm drilling out the correct path. Once that's been done, place the center of the drill bit over the hole and start drilling. I tried to avoid using the drill as much as possible, but it's the easiest way to create these holes. I figure most people should own a drill for home improvement, woodworking, or otherwise. Even if you don't already have a drill, this isn't the last time I'll be doing this, so if you think you might be happy with the results, go ahead and invest in even a corded drill. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Anyway, back to the bookshelf. The holes have been drilled, the lights have been mounted, all that's left to do is thread the cable through the holes, plug in the lights, and pull out the Tradfri remote. To pair the remote with the lights, just hold the pairing button for more than 10 seconds near the power strip. The lights will flash several times and return to normal. Move the bookshelf into place, sit back, relax, and check out the results. Wow, that looks amazing! I started this project over Thanksgiving break where I lit one shelf and I could not wait to get home to finish it. It turned out so well and I'm excited to have it completed. If you chose to pair it with the remote, you can also adjust the brightness of the lights. There's an additional Tradfri gateway that, if I understand it correctly, can allow you to turn the lights on and off with your phone. I thought I bought it, but I suppose that will have to be another video. Until then, I hope you will consider this lighting option for your collection. The total cost for this setup is a little bit short of $300, so it's not the cheapest option, but I think it is worth the cost for how beautiful it makes my collection look. I hope you've enjoyed this video on how to light up a Billy bookshelf for a collection. If you have any tips or recommendations for similar options or cheaper options, leave a comment down below. And as always, I'm Leo, reminding you that expensive collections don't belong on cheap displays. See you next time.